nukes, and it's like 600 pages, and it is 167 Q-cleared ICBM security personnel, radar operators, employees at nuclear bases where they're saying they see tic tacs, orbs, saucers, all sorts of stuff flying around our nuclear sites, often disarming the nukes. And so it's always tough to answer that question where you're like, what do you think of Skywatcher? I'm like, if I don't have that ontology where like UFOs are showing up around nukes constantly, which I'm deep in this, and they do. They show up all around the world. There's a town in Japan called Ino, which is next to the Fukushima prefecture. Fukushima is famous for its civilian nuclear grid, which was built in the 1970s. It has a museum dedicated to UFOs in the 90s that they built. Everybody there is obsessed with UFOs. Vice did a documentary in 2022 because they are obsessed with UFOs. There are geomagnetic anomalies they found all over this mountain, Sengan Mori there, and there are UFO researchers there, and like everybody in that town believes in UFOs. Bariloche, Argentina, 1995. You have a commercial, they're famous for, again, civilian nuclear grid, commercial pilot at Aerolíneas Argentinas or whatever, famous UFO sighting. It shuts down the power at the airport, and the thing has the plane can't land, and then it goes around in a circle, and there are people on the flight who have been interviewed. It's on the YouTube video. It's pretty simple and easy to digest. Even Roswell, 1947, the largest stockpile of American nuclear weapons to date. At that time, 1947. So there are all these declassified documents. In 1949, there's an emergency meeting, declassified Air Force document that is verified between Air Force Office of Special Investigations, Army Counterintelligence, Army CIC, FBI, Office of Naval Intelligence. All these guys are emergency meeting because they're freaked out at how much UFOs are showing up around nuclear sites across the U.S. In 1952, there's a Look magazine article where Captain Edward J. Ruppelt, who's kind of marginalized pre-Blue Book really taking off with J. Allen Hynek, who I think was basically a disinfo agent, where I do, yeah, and he's claimed to have like gotten better and kind of be, he admitted his part in the cover-up, but then I think he kept going on with some fuckery, yeah, yeah. So there's so if you don't have that ontology, there's Vasily Alexeyev is a Russian general, and in a German magazine from 2000 he's interviewed, and he talks about how UFOs show up at the forefront of human ingenuity and advancement, and when we transport certain material, the UFOs show up. In chapter 9 of The Invisible College by Jacques Vallée, he talks about the UFOs being this sort of autonomous control system. And when we, it's like a node lights up. Like when we engage in super advanced research or something, he talks about ways to interfere with the control system, but that are very dangerous. So if you don't have that ontology, like, yeah, me saying like these dudes are out with their mobile construction unit, like in the desert, like, getting stuff to show up, you're gonna be like, that's a fucking Mylar balloon. I'm sorry. Right. But because if you accept that data set and don't just dismiss it kind of firsthand, I do think they can get stuff to show up. What they're getting to show up, I don't know. Can they get it to land? I don't know. Can
you explain how they're getting this stuff to show up? What signals they're putting out there that represent something to these, supposedly something to these UAPs?
Unfortunately, they kind of black box it. And so I have to assume it's either nuclear. They do say that they have a dog whistle, which is a certain frequency. There is a frequency floating around online that somebody claims to have doxed. That might be their thing, but I don't want to say that that's definitely their thing. So there are...
But the idea is they called them.
They called them.
They use something to send a signal out there, and then these crafts respond. Is it 100% of the time?
They say that the dog whistle works 100% of the time. And they have a combination of mechanical means of attracting UFOs and of... This is really weird, but humans trying to call in the UFOs.
I've heard that before, right?
Yeah, C5 is sort of a common...
post that on our show, I don't think, but is that what you're talking about? I don't want to make it.
That might be... Yeah, 2.5K.
What do you not want to make, Jimmy?
I don't know. Do you want me to show this or not? I don't know if you're saying it's bad. I don't want to give it...
No, I'm not saying it's bad. I don't think...
It seems like it's on
I think it's fine.
All right.
I don't think... I don't think Skywatcher would say that that's definitely endorse that as their thing, but because they kind of black box it. But that could be. That could be real.
So what it's saying, want to know how to make a dog whistle for summoning UAP? Here's how. Super easy. What's his signal? 7.83 hertz carrier, via modulated 100 hertz bass tone, Schumann resonance. Do you understand any of this?
Me?
Yeah. Do you know what they're saying?
Well, I guess Schumann resonance is the kind of electromagnetic frequency of the Earth itself, and so I don't know what that means. Modulated via.
What is this
100
528 hertz harmonic spiritual frequency? What is that?
That's a low tone.
I don't know.
Is that what it is, Jamie?
I just know the numbers. So like when you get up to 17K, that's that's a high. That's a real high pitch, like
and the high numbers like that are low.
Yeah, then low is so it's just that's 1,000 and then not 1,000. So 20 hertz is as low as you can hear. That's like a low bass sound. So I guess there's being generated out of some sort of machine, which doesn't say here on what you need to generate it. But I don't know if you just play it on a piano or anything,
Interesting. And then organic 2.5 hertz chirps every 10 seconds, like creature calls, giving it a unique signature. Huh.
I don't know where he would get this.
This could be a kook.
Yeah,
It used to be a kook. There's so many kooks out there.
There are a lot.
Boy, there's so many kooks. There's so many kooks.
There-
Kooks and grifters. This infiltrated.
It's so my contrarian take about UFOs is there are so many kooks and grifters, but there are more people with ulterior motives who are telling partial truths than full kooks and grifters.
Yeah.
And that makes it so complicated because you're bad vibes and you are doing some controlled opposition thing, but I have to listen to you because you have some interesting info.
Right. That's the problem.
That's the
when you're
problem.
talking, I've had conversations with people like that where I'm talking, I'm like, I think you're at least partially full of shit, but keep going.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
I know there's some stuff, and then I know there's
Right.
some bullshit you're giving me, and you want to
Right.
see if I'll tell somebody else